Joining me now, two of the folks asking this question, Howard Kurtz, the host of MediaBuzz on FNC, and Rich Lowry, editor of National Review and a Fox News contributor. Good to see you both.
Hi, Megan.
So,
Hi.
That is a question. I mean, it's a question going after Trump in general. There's so much, he just constantly is doing something controversial and so on. But is there anything left for her to say, Howie?
Look, she's pretty much fired all of her nuclear warheads. Once you have called your opponent unfit for the presidency, dangerous, a bigot, a shady businessman, a fearmonger, a conspiracy theorist, I think all she's got left in the arsenal are some pop guns and maybe some slingshots. But look, this was always the danger for Hillary Clinton, risk of building so much of her campaign around demonizing Donald Trump. I mean, he's done the same thing to crooked Hillary, but she doesn't have a signature issue or a shorthand for what she would do for the country.
And yet, those audiences that's going to get record numbers, Rich. I mean, the presidential debate is going to have an audience that hasn't heard all these attacks, that hasn't really, a lot of people live their lives. They don't pay as close attention to it as we might think.
Yeah, the audience is going to be enormous, and this arguably is going to be the most momentous presidential debate since Carter, Reagan in 1980. And I'm with Howie. There's sense to what Hillary has tried to do in this campaign, which is just disqualify Donald Trump as this dangerous madman. The problem is, for her, that creates a really low bar for Donald Trump to get over. And one of the reasons that the polls have closed the last month is Donald Trump, when he shows up and just uses a reasonable tone of voice and gives a serious speech and goes to a venue that's kind of different and interesting, it's not a rally, it shows he's not a dangerous madman, and it falsifies that entire line of attack. Now, if he can carry that off in the debate, there is some chance this race flips and the advantage goes to Donald Trump.
What about, there was an article out today, Howie, talking about, in Politico, from Glenn Thresh, talking about these are 5 factors that could still lead to Trump's downfall, saying, look, everything's gone his way recently, he's still not ahead, saying the cable and the TV networks are going to come after him like nobody's business.
Well, this race isn't over in Trump's favor any more than it was over in Hillary's favor a month ago when she had that 10 and 12-point lead, and a lot of people were just speculating about who she'd have in her cabinet. So, Hillary Clinton still has the built-in electoral college advantage. That will help. But in terms of, Rich makes a really good point, which is Donald Trump now has a lower bar to clear, certainly in terms of debates. A lot of people who might be expecting him to be fulminating and attacking crooked Hillary might see a more sober figure if he chooses to go that way. I really think that Hillary Clinton has to fashion some kind of appeal to those white working-class voters who are tempted by the Trump brand, who might ordinarily vote Democratic. She has to offer them something about improving their lives. But when she talks about policy, she's kind of boring. It is hard for her to break through the static. She doesn't have the showmanship.
This is the irony about where this race is now. For months and months and months, we've heard about how Trump needs to pivot. Can he pivot? Will he pivot? Well, he finally sort of pivoted. Now Hillary Clinton needs to pivot. She needs to do things that are original, interesting, and unexpected. I think it would have been great for her, when she was feeling better after that near collapse, to stand up in front of the press, do an hour-and-a-half press conference on my health. That's all I want. I'm going to answer every single question. I'm going to release every record. That would have been completely unexpected. It would have created a sense of openness we'd never seen from her. Or instead of having this, big Clinton Foundation bash for Bill's birthday, why not come out and say immediately, you know what, I get the doubts about the foundation. No one with the name Clinton is going to have anything to do with this foundation beginning right now.
Why would you fuel any of the fires? It's almost like she's walking around with 2 iPhones again. Like, don't you understand?
She's banking on she can just continue to grind this out in a conventional way, and maybe she can, but it's a big risk now, and we don't know if she's hit bottom yet.
She's such a cautious candidate, and it's hard for her to just, be herself because she feels like she'll be hammered. This was one of the things
they worried about over in Team Clinton, about going up against Donald Trump, the unpredictability of his methods and how and whether she'd be able to respond, deftly. Good to see you both.
Thanks, Megan.
Great to see you, Megan.